Hello and welcome everybody back to the Dumbass class with me, Dyslexic Gamer, and of course the boys as the players as usual. Sadly there was a slight issue with Twitch. We are a little bit late, and always, you know, my players causing never-ending problems with delays after delays after delays. I have no idea why we're rolling target. Oh, hang on, you're not rolling targets. Wow. Roll 20 scrolled me some ways up. Some weird reason. I don't know. So, welcome back everyone. In the last episode, our group of hopeful Inquisitorial acolytes finally met the rogue trader vessel, the the Emperor's Profiteer, and her captain, the illustrious Jack Briston von Rose, rather. Well, Rose. And they were brought to a delicious meal where they were shown some absolute delight that they have probably never seen or never will see again. They have gone through their 3 starting dishes and their 3 I believe it was mains dishes last time. Hang on. No, sorry. I stopped at the 3 starters. At the captain's table this evening, we have, of course, all of our wannabe acolytes, plus a bloody number of people. Namely, people like the Seneschal, the Void Master, not the Explorator, he's too busy, or the Navigator because he's too hideous. The Astropath, the Master at Arms, the Chief Physician for the ship, and of course the Rogue Trader himself. They have been given with every meal a drink. Some of the players were trying to make out last time that they were not going to be partaking, and you will be partaking. You're in a very fancy dinner. You don't have to drink all of your drink, but trust me, after the 12 courses that are coming, yes, you are all going to be slightly drunk. The amount you're eating, you're not going to be...
You cut out.
I cut out? Oh. Okay. Odd.
It was after the 12 courses. It may have not come through on stream, but you cut out for us. Or me, at least.
That's
yeah,
odd.
I think that.
Okay. Roll Discord having issues. I'll try and keep an eye on that. So you're going to have 12, roughly 12 courses. You're going to get drunk. You're not going to get blinding drunk, but you are going to get drunk up from this. It's just inevitable. You're eating. You're constantly eating, so you're not actually going... You cannot get blind stinking drunk unless you want to. By the end of this meal, you will all be tipsy. That's just the fact of where you are. You can, if you really want to be obstinate and not, you can refuse to drink.
Did you cut out again? Oh yeah, you cut out again. I'm listening to you on stream. Yeah, you cut out.
I'm so glad it wasn't just me. Oh
no.
It wasn't just me then.
Yep, everything went quiet.
No, I'm going quiet now because I'm trying to look at what's causing it. I
was laughing because you cut out just as you said you got a fix, and then I went, wait, is he pausing for something? Or I looked at the stream and went, oh wait, no, he's still talking. Oh crap.
Huh. I don't know what's causing this. I will have to keep an eye on 2 screens now. So if you're looking at me on the camera and my eyes are kind of squinting, it's because I'm trying to look at 2 different Discord readings at once. So yeah, you can refuse to drink, but essentially, if you do, you're going to get the stink eye. You're going to get a little bit of social faux pas, I'm afraid. So as you all finish your 3rd course, can't quite remember what I described for the third starter last time, but the Seneschal goes through a little talk about where your next course is coming from. He gives you essentially a quick rundown on each dish, where it came from, the segmentum, the planet, what the planet's like, the trade ship that goes on. Very dull and kind of boring, a little bit interesting, but the first main dish that comes out is a small bird that has been roasted in its own juices, stuffed with a type of bread and seasoning and other delectables. They call it stuffing, but most of you have never heard of a thing called stuffing. It's soaked in gravy with, as the dish is brought out by the servers. All the servers are human, by the way. You haven't seen many servitors. They grate something onto it. The seneschal will tell you that this is a type of dried root that gives a delicious spiced flavour, and it's best eaten hot. The captain doesn't wait for the seneschal to finish. As soon as the food comes to his plate, he raises a glass of a sweet sherry, takes a little sip out of it, and tucks into his small roasted bird. After that, there seems to be a quite a weird dish, as it appears to be a small suckling pig, small roast pig, miniature pig, but it looks exactly like how a spit roasted pig would look. There's even a small fruit in the pig's mouth. And the seneschal would go into great detail about the miniature swine herders of Ep34, that they're a particular specialty breed. And shortly after, a cheese dish comes out. The seneschal tells you that this dish is actually from this no, sorry, not this sub, the sub over, where they breed a genetically engineered form of mountain goat. As the world is particularly cold and mountainous, these goats have been bred to be able to make multiple different types of cheese, and as a small broiling pot is placed in front of you with a few different types of bread, a few different types of meat and of fish, and the seneschal would take great delight in showing you how, you know, you pierce and then you dip the meat or fish into the broiling fondue, essentially, and cook it. And again, with each meal, with each dish that comes out, there's an accompanying spirit.
You cut.
No, I stopped speaking then, because I think I know what's causing it.
Yes. Shots at the end of the night.
Darius is trying to be polite and not mutter to himself, what the hell is a pig? What the hell is a mountain goat? What
The hell is a goat?
the hell's cheese? No.
Well, you're about to find out what all these things are, because you get to try them.
I make it sound as if there's like nothing living on us at all, but majority of the time I'm just memeing.
So, I didn't cut out then, I dropped my phone. So
Okay.
That was a slight worry.
Yeah.
No, so I can't listen to the stream through my PC because then Discord, then OBS picks it up. So for me to check what the sound is like, I have to use my phone. So
okay.
So the end of the main course has finished. At this point, a lot of the crew are going to leave. So the astropath will get up, the medic will also get up and leave, along with. No, I think it's just the astropath and the medicus who need to get back to their duties, whereas the master at arms, the seneschal, and the void master are all still staying. But as the mains come to an end, the captain will have a palate cleanser go round, a small liquor, and he'll stand up and address the table. It's been a wonderful meal so far, but I'm afraid my new friends, he gestures to you lot, my crewmen will have to get back to work. I believe the doctor has patients to see to, and the astropath has some messages to send. They bow to their captain and respectfully excuse themselves from the table, and they would make their way out.
Darius nods as they leave and carries on listening or chatting. That was.
So
Mordecai would kind of bid the astropath farewell as he sets off as well. A nice little chat.
If the host gets up when the other people get up to leave, I will get up too. Give them a short bow. Be polite about it. Go back to drinking and eating.
Okay.
Okay. You can say goodbye to them. They will respectfully will give you a respectful nod, and perhaps for the astropath to Mordecai, he'd inform you that he is normally off duty. Why have I gone quiet all of a sudden? God damn you, roll. He would basically tell you that you can call him anytime.
Ooh, got a boyfriend in an astropath. I mean, what?
Get out. Oh boy.
I apologise for that.
So, as you say, as you have a little jig to yourself, as he gives you a weird look, the captain would sit back down and, well, I do hope you don't mind, but after I would like to inquire a certain proposition. See if you're interested in a little business, perhaps. But I just wanted to let you know that there was more to this simple meal than meets the eye.
Who says this? The captain?
Yes, the captain.
Okay. I try to sit up as straight as I can. I guess if I'm having a drink with every meal, and I was like, what, three courses per, 3 meals per course? Yeah. I would be fairly tipsy if not drunk, so. Yeah, Darius would be standing up or sitting up as straight as he can, looking a little bit quizzically.
Mordecai would kind of be looking towards the others and kind of following their lead on this, because he's not used to this sort of wine and dine fancy stuff.
The captain doesn't get to go too much more into it when the next course arrives. He kind of just gives you a look of, we'll talk after the delectables. The after mains courses arrive. These are a little bit odder. Some rarer still treats. One of the courses comes out with a, as far as you can tell, a raw egg. The captain takes the egg is presented. The seneschal gives you some information that this is a Hikalaran egg from some subs away. A reptile-like creature actually lays them, and the locals there have found that adding spices and adding a touch of sides, shall we say, it is quite a delicious after meal drink, quite filling and quite rich. And you see that the captain takes essentially like Tabasco sauce, a bit of hot sauce in there, a bit of soy sauce, a bit of fish sauce, mixes it round and drinks it. This is an acquired taste. Can all the player characters roll me toughness?
Okay. What is this exactly?
It is a raw egg. It is a raw reptile egg.
Are there any bonuses, minuses?
Nope, just flat.
Can I argue willpower to keep it down?
No, this is essentially just to see if you can accept the taste.
Oh hell yeah! Oh hell yeah!
Liliana has these every Tuesday.
Liliana's iron gut is showing.
So Jenny, this is as you do what everyone else is doing, and you know the Void Master is spurring you on. The Master at Arms is kind of looks at it like, not this fucking thing again. You drink it and it's just got this taste that just isn't. It doesn't sit right with you, and as you drink it down, perhaps you cough and just, and you can see that the Master at Arms, he just like gives you a knowing nod as he makes out as if he's eating it, but he just doesn't agree with him. However, for Liliana, you think you may have found a new favourite dish. This is really quite tasty. There's something about that after flavour that's just, it is really, really unique. And right up your taste buds.
Oh my, this is so delightful.
Mordecai, it's certainly not something you're going to try again anytime soon. And much of you, Darius, you're looking over at Jenny just like, help me. Ugh.
I want my rations back.
And for those of you who fail, maybe you do drink all of that nice little alcoholic drink that comes with it.
It's like, wash the taste away. Wash the taste away.
Pretty much, yeah. Gonna swirl it around.
You've noticed that the Master of Arms gets a refill, and the drink that's accompanied this is like a cherry liqueur. It's very fruity, very flavoursome, and when you take a little sip, you do notice that the whole flavour, the palate of your mouth, is completely cleansed and replaced with this delightful cherry aftertaste. It's like,
Darius likes it.
And then the next two dishes, a little bit normaler for our time, would be a type of like frog's leg, a reptile, a hopping amphibious reptile leg that it tastes a bit like chicken. To be honest, tastes a little bit like chicken. What does a chicken taste like? You had a fowl type creature not too long ago. Tasted pretty similar.
I'd say it tasted foul.
And last, but certainly not least, would be essentially caviar. A small crackers are brought out, and these black, almost jewel-like orbs put onto the cracker. And the seneschal tells you that this is a very, very, very sought after and rare caviar from a sturgeon fish that is believed to have come from Old Terra.
What? How the hell is it out in space? The void faring sturgeon.
Instead of sturgeon, it's spurgeon.
Spurgeon.
Bird.
And perhaps at this point for you, because this is probably one of the biggest, although each dish is quite small because you've had so many, still probably one of the longest meals you've had, as you're getting onto the hour and a half mark when the desserts come out. So there are three desserts for you. One would be essentially like a funnel cake with lots of cream and fresh fruit. The other would be a type of ice cream. Quite, not amazingly fancy. And the second one would be a type of jelly that is placed on a liquid nitrogen, not hydrogen, liquid nitrogen base. So as it comes out, it just froths over with this mist. The servers would lean down to all of you and don't touch the liquid. Don't. No, sorry, it's not liquid nitrogen. It's dry ice. No, dry ice is liquid nitrogen, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dry ice is solid carbon.
It's ice, which is dry.
It's what happens if you spray a CO2 fire extinguisher into a towel.
A towel?
Why are we spraying towel with fire extinguishers?
Because it
To
all
get dry
it
ice.
condenses and then freezes on the fabric of the towel, and then you get dry ice.
It's the closest thing to close quarters melee, though. Be good at
I
is
was
shooting
gonna
something
say,
in melee.
do we get the D6 auto hits?
It's not a Hellfrost cannon. Okay?
So, by the end of the last scoop of ice cream or the last bite of dessert, you can see that everyone round the table, the Void Master, the Master at Arms, the Seneschal, and the Captain, they are all rosy cheeked and slurring their speech quite a bit. The Void Master and the Master at Arms seem to have a bit of a competition going. You find out, for those of you who are listening into, for Darius, for Ezio, I think for Liliana, you're the guys that are closest to them. You probably would have picked up that there's a bit of a rivalry going on between them, given one that was army and one was navy in a former life. But finally, servers come round with different brands of low stick and different brands of cigars. And the captain, obviously, a server comes over to him and he goes through and he picks his smoke of choice. You're all allowed to have a smoke if you so wish. And this is the one time when the servers actually ask you, what would you like to drink? The captain asks for a 100-year-old Amasek with plenty of glacial ice.
Tell me, my good sir, you by any chance have a pina colada? If not, a martini will do.
Hey. What? Wait.
I'm afraid I haven't heard of such drinks before. Are they native to your homeworld?
Technically, no.
Oh well.
You have gin.
What would be in these drinks?
Pina colada might be a little bit too hot for you if you don't know what it is. But a good pina colada requires rum, pineapple juice, white rum, and coconut cream. If you can give me a martini is probably easier. Martini only require you to give me gin, drive him on, and well, a slice of lemon.
I
It's probably
think
like, what the
we
fuck?
should be able to handle something like that. He looks over to the servers and just he kind of gives him a sheepish, okay, yeah, I'll do something. I should get you to roll
Excellent.
corruption. How much corruption do you get for out of world? Nah, to be decided later.
Where do I get corruption for asking for something like that? Okay, fine. Just give me a Bloody Mary. Hey man, she drinks a lot of shit.
So, drinks would be brought as specified. If they can do it, you essentially get Amasek with a slice of a citrus fruit. That's all you said it was.
Good enough.
No Fenrisian ale then. Guess he no, just Fen. Just
Again,
it's the only thing
do
except from
any of-
Amasek.
do any of your characters know about any of these drinks? I'm gonna have to say no.
No, because it's like that's the only other in-world drink that I know. My character wouldn't really know anything.
Well, out of character.
Vodkas exist because they have vodka on where the Russians come from. Can't remember what it's called. Valhalla. They have vodka on Valhalla.
Well, Russia and Valhalla, I think, right? They're both pretty close to Russian.
They have grogs. They have any drinks you've been drinking on planet. You all get a drink.
I technically asked for rum drinks, and rum is technically the sailor's drink, so
I just have an Amasek. Just
Drinks
copy
are
what
brought to
the
you?
captain's doing.
But I actually looked up to see what stuff I actually ordered. That's a character would know.
I mean, all the normal
don't-
drinks do exist. Beers exist. It's just if you're on a world that's on, if you're in the hive world, you don't have beer. Why? Because you don't have rations for grain to get beer. You get cheap grain. You get cheap alcohol that's made from sugar and water. You know, it gets you drunk. That's what you get. If you're from an agri world, then you can have all sorts of shit.
Hello. Darius. Hey, Albie, please stop putting your wife on the microphone when you say hello. Jesus Christ.
You loved?
What?
Am I too loud?
No, when you open with hello, it's it did kind of sound as if you had your mouth pressed right up against the microphone, so it did come out through really loud. At least on my end, I don't know about anyone else. I should stop speaking as if I do. Sorry.
No problem.
I mean, is sugar or sugarcane something more common?
No. It's sugar extracted from other, like the human body has sugars in it. They extract that and make alcohol from it.
I like that you went straight to the human body.
Rum is basically fermented, sugar juice.
No, Darius will ask you.
Like, remember your backgrounds, people.
Yeah.
I apologize.
No, Darius is actually going to ask if he has any selections of guard issue at AMSEC, because he remembers. He'll just. Yeah, I remember my sister talked about. There's different AMSECs for different regiments, and different planets make their own, and I've only had my own, and the piss they have down there. I kind of wanted to try some other regiments, rations.
Oh well, we don't have rations, but I do have some stores of Amasek that would be given to the Ultramar Guard regiments. well, for the officers, of course. I can have one glass brought out for you. That wouldn't be a problem at all. I believe it's actually from the planet of Ultramar. He looks up at one of his servers, who quickly, like, you could see like their brain kind of ticking, like, yeah, I think the seneschal quickly pipes in. One of the moons around Ultramar, actually. Why he sounds like the captain, I don't know. It's probably why I've had him be silent all this time, for the most part.
Darius kind of looks into it. All right. Well, under his breath, he's I'm not going to ask what Ultramar is, but okay. It's named after a subsector, at least. But yeah, I'll try some of that, please.
So, after a few moments, all of you are brought a drink. You can take a smoke if you wish. Once you all have your drinks, the table has been cleared of any cutlery. It's essentially, whilst they've been taking your orders, other servers have come in, cleaned the table off, everything's out of the way, and the captain lights his cigar. And so, I was wondering, given that you are all in such good shape, and this is a more habitable world than the others that I picked up, the other Inquisitorial group, what was your business on world?
You're not told by
Money.
the Inquisitor.
You're not aware of our current mission, I guess, sir.
I have been informed of somewhat what you are meant to be up to. For example, if I am to expect hostilities towards my ship, if I am to have to go to other means to acquire said agents. I was informed, for example, that the other group were investigating something more malicious and that they may need assistance. So I rendered it, as I was paid to. But your group, I was not given as much information, so I just wished to know what you've been up to.
Right. Well, give me a second.
The guy is gonna look at the group, look at him. We're here for the betterment of the Imperium, but nothing too grandiose. Just
I'm very much
asset
beginning
collection.
to dislike you, my lady. You
Asset
do not
collection's
have
my-
to be quite so candid. It gets rather annoying, actually. Then, if you will not proffer me with the information that I would like, then I will not make my proposal. It seems that you have got the God Emperor's work ahead of you, so it might be best if I not interfere with that.
One of our duties in which you could assist, my Lord Captain, is we are to help raise funds. That is what rogue traders are good at, is it not? I mean, just looking at this fine vessel of yours.
Ah, I see. So you were to increase the Inquisition's war chest. I understand. And yes, I am quite adept at making profit, shall we say? It is a family trait, after all.
Then it seems you are well equipped to help us with that particular part of our mission. Seems our Inquisitor made a good choice in our pairing. Now, what was this suggestion you had for us? I just shoot Liliana daggers for a second.
She ignores you. She's far too used to being coy and being secretive at this point.
He gestures towards his Void Master, who brings out from his purse. He taps himself for a while and then brings out a very small data slate from his coat, from his coat pocket. Brings it up and, my lord here, he found out that a few decades ago, maybe longer than that, in a subsector close to this one, a Hulk came from a space Hulk came from the Warp. It soon returned there, but the sub that it appeared in, they were attacked by orcs. A fleet left from the space Hulk and headed towards the nearest planets. Well, they were subdued easily enough. I'm not sure who was involved in cleansing the Xenos filth, but they were cleansed. But the Adeptus Mechanicus, they held sway over the rights to the orcs scrap, as the cogheads normally do. Apologies, miss, as the Mechanicus normally do. He gives a sheepish look over to Jenny, smokes his low stick a little bit more. Well, the thing is, the Mechanicus were very interested in the orc salvage because it was made from ships within the Hulk itself. Valuable architect was rumored to be found. Yes, quite. I shall take it from here. Oh, whoops! I think that was meant to be a woman.
Oh,
sorry.
Oh.
It is Samantha. It is Samantha.
She can be. She can be. Samantha can be a manly woman. It's fine.
The Void Master I've got is Mormon Lightstain.
man.
No, this is the Master at Arms.
Oh, Master at Arms. Okay, yeah, no,
Yeah.
that a bird, yeah.
Should have probably checked that before. Oh well, I've actually got the names open. Never mind. Passes it over to the captain. So I did some poking around, and it turns out that a navigational beacon on the other side of the sub was destroyed. Well, after a little bit more poking around, I found out, and with a bit of help from my my navigator, rather, I found out that this little sector here was actually attacked by an unknown Xenos ship. The Navy easily destroyed it, and the wreck floated into a nearby asteroid field. Well, it seems as if the Adeptus Mechanicus were not informed. Or at the very least, they didn't think it worthwhile enough to send a crew to reclaim what was perhaps lost. And after a little bit more digging and perhaps a gentle nudge, a few coins passed. I'm not embarrassed to say that even officers of the Imperial Navy will speak to one if their pockets are lined a little more. It turns out that a number of vessels were lost in that engagement. Only small vessels, mind you. Attack craft, some larger troop ships, not transport ships. Well, it turns out that might just be this subsector, and it could be that the orcs managed to put together a ship from that space hulk and flew here. Well, there'd be a pretty penny in it. Sorry, a pretty throne in it for anyone who could reclaim something valuable. Alas, the asteroid field in this subsector is off limits by the Navy, you see. And unfortunately, even my rogue trader credentials would not allow me access, but if I could inform the naval ships that guard this sub that I had Inquisitorial members on board who were interested in examining the asteroid field, well, they would be more than willing to, well, sod off.
Can I roll Inquisition? Because surely they would have told us what our kind of like threshold of authority is. I'm almost certain we don't actually have that authority as just barely agents.
Yep, so essentially you hit the Inquisitorial button. You were basically told by your... Oh, bloody hell.
Voiced a good roll.
Good roll. You were basically told that you have whatever means to make your money. You could do whatever you wanted to make your money. You weren't given any real barriers to stop, you know. As for
Okay.
do you have the authority, you technically do, but at the same time you don't. So
We
if
don't have the paperwork.
yes, so if they question too much, if they say, right, okay, where's your inquisitorial authority, you basically have to get them to send a message to the closest inquisitorial building to have them go through their records to see if a interrogator Latilla.
What?
But she was your
Spoiler, we don't know her.
Yeah.
no, Ted told you about her.
He didn't.
Nope.
I haven't got an Inquisitor Latilla.
Sorry, not Inquisitor, interrogator. Did he not tell? Did I not?
Nope.
I was sure
Yeah,
I.
as far as I remember.
Mentioned our old character.
Because I know you met Ted. Ted was the one who handled you, your group. I thought he said that his interrogator was Liliana, and she was well. So Ted is marked down as well. If you weren't told that, then you were told that.
Yeah, I think he said interrogator, but I don't think he actually mentioned her by name.
I'm pretty
That makes
sure
sense.
it is correct in this.
Yeah.
As far as
Okay,
I
then.
remember, Tad is currently our handler.
So yeah, you would have been told because then that means that Ted's on the inquisitorial shit list.
Ted. Okay.
Oh, damn it, Ted.
So essentially, a message would be sent back. You would be saying, your message would be, do these inquisitorial acolytes have authority? Their handler's name is Ted, whatever the hell his last name was. And then they would look through the archives and see, okay, we do have a Ted. He's linked to this inquisitor, so yes, it would fall on this inquisitor's head.
Bruce.
So you do have the authority, but if they do question, it could take months for them to actually get back to you.
Yeah, it's Imperium bureaucracy is
Dangerous beast.
plants die while waiting for reinforcements, like that. Because
Yes.
they sent a request form with one spelling error and had to go through 4 different sub filing systems.
So, would you be open to such a proposition?
Darius dramatically spins to the group while shit-faced.
Does he almost fall off of his chair? He's that shit-faced.
Possible.
For a percentage of the value, of course.
So, seems like a good opportunity for equal benefit. What do you think, Jenny? Is the risk worth the cost?
Well, outcome.
Yuzina, you're really, really quiet.
Yeah.
Am
You
I?
are. Yeah. Trying to turn you up to
Yeah,
200%.
can you explain Discord?
I did nothing.
Okay.
Okay. Well, what about the rest of you? Etsu,
I'm in favor.
Liliana,
Well, you need funds, so why not? Let's go do it.
something different, isn't it?
Well, it is.
I mean, if you can sell some out, we probably get enough money.
I mean, an important little bit is, do you have any? You don't have any information on it at the moment. Navy blockade. Yeah. What would the percentage cut be?
Oh, well, it wouldn't be maybe 10% for the group.
You do realize without this that you won't get in?
Ah, yes, but you're in the same boat, you see.
We wouldn't get there without the dear captain's gracious help.
Yeah, we're at a standstill then, because you won't get there without us, and we won't get there without you. So, yeah.
20.
I think of it like this: if we're helping you get in, we should have a little bit of a more of a bonus, especially if we're going to be the ones going in there and doing the majority of the work and saving your boys from, getting their feet dirty or whatever. Or if we're going to be the ones going in there for specifically because we're the ones that are asking for permission, and we're the ones going to be like, if they're looking for asking questions. Yeah, he starts to mumble and go off on a tangent.
Get
So,
very drunk.
who wants to roll for me commerce?
Commerce.
that.
A
Do
skill
I
that
have
which
that?
no one has in this party.
No,
I
not yet.
do not. I don't have commerce. I have trade performance. I
Well,
don't think
then-
me gyrating intensity is going to help in this part. So,
I believe it will be 10%. You see, the
mean-
cost of star fuel just to get over to the asteroid field is in the excess of thousands of thrones. When you take into the number of crew, the ship, the equipment to actually do salvaging, and then the specialty personnel it takes to use such equipment, I think you'll find that 10% is rather generous, actually. And of course, I don't believe if you'll forgive me, you're not seeing the big picture. 10% of 100 thrones may only be 10, but of 10 million thrones, well, now you're getting greedy. You see?
his math holds out.
I'll make a
But
suggest.
I can be asked to fight over commas.
Yeah, we got one fate point back, didn't we?
Yeah,
we
we
did indeed. And of course, I would not step on the Inquisition's toes here. You may be the first group to enter any salvage that we find. I can assure you that if you need it, I can supply men-at-arms to assist you, but you can be the first to have the honor of checking over the spoils to ensure that there is nothing too dangerous, shall we say.
that trying to cut in before anyone else potentially throws this whole thing away. Because I think that sounds very generous of you.
You know, out of character, I like that you cut me out there because Liliana doesn't like this at all. And she doesn't trust this guy.
You think I do?
I mean,
the thing is-
mutiny is always an option out of character.
Oh, Jesus
No,
Christ.
it's not.
No,
The
it's
thing
not.
is, Liliana has been quiet secretive the entire time. The more, never mind. I'll talk about this later. But Liliana's just not going to say anything. She's just going to look at Mordecai, narrow her eyes a little bit, and not say anything.
Okay then. Well, as we are agreed upon the deal, I can relay the other information. So, the simple fact is that, of course, when we came into system, we scanned the asteroid field with our auger arrays. It was only natural, of course, for me to at least have a look to see if my suspicions and investment would pay off. It looks as if there are a number of vessels within the asteroid field, mainly debris, I'm afraid. But there are a number of ships that seem, at least on our auger scans, there's an element in the asteroid field that is preventing us from doing detailed scans. But there is at least what we can make out to be 2 orc vessels. They are of shuttle class. The largest is gun cutter size. Orc vessels are quite difficult to gauge because, well, they are not like us. They don't follow standard templates. But they are only gun cutter size, which is what I expected. There are a number of human Imperial vessel signatures that we could distinguish. Again, some of the fighter ships that we used to bring down the orcs. Possibly a human gun cutter, but we're an Imperial gun cutter, but we're not sure if it's salvageable or not. There is a Jericho-class pilgrim ship, a much older model, mind you, than the ones that the Imperium are producing now, but that looked, well, the scans didn't show if it was completely intact or not. There are also a ship I would like to see if it's still intact, a Hazaroth-class privateer. A small rogue trader vessel, only stellar, only a short distance, but still, it would be of interest anyway. Might find an old rogue trader's sword on there from times gone by or something.
I do notice that there may be some promising results in that asteroid field when we first arrived here. So I'm sure we'll find more than enough to sate your desires and our own.
I mean, or We could say. You see Ezio opening his mouth, but he closes it quickly. He realizes he would say something stupid.
Oh, hang on. So Ezio, at this point, you've had 12 drinks. Now,
wait a second.
you may not have had them all. So with every meal that has come out, there has been an alcoholic drink, and you've been expected to at least drink a quarter of it. You know, you've at least got to try some of it, otherwise you're kind of poo-pooing the host who's provided this very expensive liquor for you to drink. So you are at this point tipsy. If you indulged properly and you drank every last drop, then you're drunk at this stage. But you're at very least tipsy.
Will I be able to have managed to just, when they come for the next round, to just say, "You still have left"?
No, so each each meal. No, so each meal
drink.
comes with its own drink and accompanying. Like sometimes you'll have a so sometimes you'll have at a restaurant you'll have a fish dish and they'll bring you out a white wine because it accompanies it's an accompaniment to the dish. That's what this is. So every time the next meal comes out, they take away your other glass and bring down another one. In some cases, it's a small shot. In other cases, it's like a cocktail of some 40k description. So it's just at this stage, you are all tipsy. Unless you want to poo-poo the host. If you want to shame the host and like put your nose up at it, you can. It just may affect things later on.
Albeo puts his nose pull his nose out at the practice as you does what's required to not be too aggressive. Like he just goes along without overindulging.
Sure, no, that's fine. Then you're tipsy at this stage. You're just a little bit merry and a little bit, you know, you can feel the alcohol taking effect, but you're not drunk. So as you can see, it's not exactly a daring mission into the Reach or anything, but it looks like it could be promising, and I can see why the Mechanicus were not bothered by such a small debris field. And of course, I'll be providing the shuttles and pilots to get you in. We can't take my ship into the asteroid field. That'll be up to the gun cutter crews and the salvage vessels.
Yeah, sorry, Captain, but it's probably something I should take a look at more in the morning, but I don't have much experience, nor does my regiment, I think, with orcs. Could you give me some reading material or something in the morning?
Reading material. He looks over at his master at arms, and we could give you the Rogue Trader primer, but it's not much better than the guard one, to be honest.
I mean, it's simple. As with all enemies, shoot till it stops moving, and then shoot till it's full.
Aye, that'll work, but you do need to remember you're in the void. No heavy rounds, especially if you're going on to shuttle class space vessels. It'll take us at least it'll take us a day and a half, won't it, Captain, to get into position, transfer the codes, and get things ready. Oh, at least that. I'm not in a manic hurry to get this business done.
No, I'm just asking because everything has their quirks. We were primarily taught in basic how to take care of renegades and one second.
I like to think that Darius is actually going like talking to. He goes like 1 second, stops, concentrates a little bit, not to throw up.
No, that was out of character. I had to go close the door again.
Oh, I know.
Although it does make sense, I suppose. No, he kind of stops for a second. No, regiment was mainly focused on taking out, countering renegade elements and those little blue Xenos. A couple of our regiments got sent over that direction, so we know how to keep our heads down, but I've not seen much in the way of orcs, but we've definitely seen our fair share of Xenos.
I will basically ignore the primer. A load of nonsense when it comes to the Xenos. They're big bastards. Take a lot to go down. If you're gonna approach a corpse, shoot it in the head first. That's my policy. My old regiment specialised, well, Oxford day to day. Big dumb brutes, but they'll surprise you if they come in number or if you're unprepared. But they're so savage you can use it against them. Ambushes are easy to set up against orcs. They like to fight amongst themselves an awful lot. So if you shadow them for long enough, a fight will break out and you can genuinely set up a beautiful ambush that way. But yeah, not to be underestimated. But they die with enough last shots. But if you're not used to fighting in the void, no heavy caliber stuff, no heavy weapons. Fire's all well and good, but if there's no oxygen on the ship or little oxygen, oh bloody hell, probably best to leave it until you can, well, get a decent oxygen supply.
Alright.
I can send over some materials. I'm sure we've got some prescribed books on the Xenos.
Sure. I'll take a look. Well, if you can spare them, can you send as many as you can, or many as you I don't know the different species? I'd like to just double check some of the work. That's alright.
Would you mind giving us facts?
Can I get a requisition roll from you, Darius? So your influence, please.
Okay. The modifiers or anything?
Nope, just flat.
No.
Oh!
I can get you one on the orcs. That's doable. I've got one in my collection, but other Xenos, I'm afraid not.
Alright. Yeah. That's alright. Excuse me for a moment. I just need to settle my stomach. I'm not
by all means, if the drink and he gestures to a servant and a server, not servant, and he gets the idea. A few moments later, Darius, basically Rennie is provided to you and another drinkable substance. The tablet you chew and it settles your stomach for digestion, or if the acid is coming up and burning, then I suggest the drinkable one. It coats the throat and cools the burn nicely.
All right. If you excuse the ruggedness of the statement, I was actually more looking for a toilet.
Oh, then, by all means. So another server comes round and gestures for you to follow me, sir.
Out of character question.
Sure.
Are they proper toilets or are they those vacuum cleaners?
No,
This is a rogue
you're on
trader
the
vessel.
rogue trader vessel of the highest quality, and you're in the captain's private dining suite. So everything round here is the highest level of standard and luxury you could ever imagine times 10.
Best quality.
Everything, absolutely everything is best. No, near unique. That is what everything is. You know, for a rogue trade, especially of his lineage, he has a luxury sprint trader, so he's been able to not have to trade for livelihood. He's actually been able to get through all the mundane shit and go, right, I can just deal in luxuries now. That's a very special type of rogue trader. So yeah, Darius, you get led to the bathroom, and it's just like this weird stone that's almost illuminates in the darkness, and it's this weird marble that has luminescent parts in it, and just like, fuck me, this is incredible. A small servitor, the first servitor you've seen, comes out as you flush the toilet. Ah, damn it! I know I should. Where is it?
Darius is actually going to sit in the toilet for a few
Do you
moments.
require wiping, sir?
Have a little poop knife.
There's a small cherub-like servitor comes out of the wall with cleaning, like scrubbing and cleaning apparatus attached to his tiny little chubby hands, and that voice comes out.
Get away before. No, now get away before I take him off you and do it myself. I'm fine, thank you very much.
Its little
I'm just gonna
alcove
sit here
spins
for a moment.
around, goes back into the wall. When that happens, the wall opens up, and there's a number of cleaning apparatus. There's a loofah. There's another type of sponge. There's silks, cloths, you name it.
Oh boy, okay. Darius is going to take a couple of moments in the toilet and return to the dinner party. For wiping his own ass. I don't need no robot to wipe my foot for me. Or a lobotomized peasant.
Small baby to clean your scrotum.
Yeah, I don't need that. I don't need that thought on my conscience either.
That's a no.
Yeah, I don't need that image in my head either.
Oof.
Disgusting. Okay, so
That's a bad
Unless you
image to
deal
have.
this every day over, baby ass wiper.
hey, it's a cherubin is normal in 40k, and we can't get
Pretty
past this. We can't get past this that they have servitors for everything. And
Yeah.
in our modern day and
I
age, we used to have royals that had people wipe their asses. So yeah, cherubin ass wiper. Jesus, God, Emperor.
I would be fine if it wasn't a cherubim, but it's just me.
The guy in my pub washes and dries your hands for you. If you're drunk.
So
Okay.
you return back to the dining room, and the captain is currently going on to a little escapade of how his family lineage got into the game. But stories for another time, I think. By all means, you can make use of all the officers' decks aboard my ship. I will give you a bollocks. What were they called again? They were like sea tricks. I'll give you a pass for officers' clearance. It will be restricted to officers and above. I can't. Well, no. You are Inquisitorial agents after all. You'll be given access to the bridge should you need to be there or wish to see the asteroid field with your own eyes. I can have a message sent to you to your quarters. Just try not to fraternize with the crew of any lower stations. They are far easier to scare than the officers.
Thank you very much. I'm sure we'll all try our best not to scare any of your crew, especially after you've been so generous with your hosting of us.
So, is there anything anyone would like to ask the rogue trader captain?
I mean, permission to go see the asteroid field when it's there.
Yeah, I mean it's going to take at least a day for him to transmit the message to the naval security, and then to get the message back, move the ship into place, take auger scans. This is Imperium. Everything's very slow.
Yeah, but just so he would be aware.
Yep. No, he will message. Have a message sent to the to all of you to inform you when that happens and if you'd like to come up. Anything else from anyone?
Sorry, is this just what we're doing over the next couple of days, or is this
Anything you'd like to ask the rogue trader?
would I be able to peruse your I can't remember the word for computer. Is it
Cogitators.
cogitators? There is some research I would like to attempt. That's okay with you?
Well, what research is this? Information is rather dangerous, and knowledge can be corrupting, as you know.
Quite so. And then I hesitate and just kind of give a quick sideways glance at Darius, say, perhaps that is best discussed in private with you.
What level are you looking for? Scholastic laws are fairly restricted to those who are not of the correct learned aptitudes, but of course, inquisitorial acolytes, you can go straight past that.
Just some common law, maybe going into scholastic if it piques my interest.
By all means, that's acceptable. You can Chronicalarium would be where well, although that's I will have a cognite set up. I can have one brought to your room. It'll have well, basically send a message of what you want placed on the cognite unit. I'll have it installed and brought to your chamber, so you can more easily do your research. I'm afraid forbidden laws are forbidden even to someone as illustrious as I, but there are a few that the rogue trader license allows me access to. Certain Xenos, for instance. But I would need to have permission from your inquisitor or interrogator to grant you access to that freely.
I would expect nothing less. Thank you very much.
That's not a problem.
Just Mordecai's now just going to start muttering to himself, well, I could ask for that. Could I? There's this, that's been bugging me. Just kind of goes off into his own little world of like, oh, I have knowledge I can touch now.
Darius mutters to himself, returning to Mordecai. Like, I just zoned out for a moment completely. What the fuck are you talking about?
I was just asking the dear captain if I could peruse his cogites for information. I am a researcher at heart, after all.
Darius or sits staring at you for like a couple of seconds, like Peruse and Cogite is what they use to make little tech priests, isn't it?
I think you may have had a bit too
That's
much
when-
to drink.
That's Jenny
Yeah.
and her.
One
Yeah.
more, a couple more of those things, and he'll start seeing gerbils again.
Yes, I will have a couple more of those drinks. Etsy was right.
That's not what I said.
No, I heard you loud and clear, Etsy.
I apologize for him.
Me too.
I don't get out,
Rogue
but
trader. He's normally not like this.
no,
probably
I'm usually
worse.
really, really depressed.
Oh,
You're not
my
helping.
sons. You've been on well doing the God Emperor's work. There's times when you should be allowed to cut loose and enjoy yourselves, and I insist that this be one of them. As I said, it will take us a day at the very least to get into position, send messages and do scans and so on. It will take half a day or so for us to get close enough to launch the ships, the shuttles, and for them to then get there. Take your time, enjoy yourselves tonight. By all means, my drinks cabinet is yours for the evening.
Thank you, Captain. But,
Actually, my good sir, now that I think about it, would you also allow me to have access to your chronicalarium? I unfortunately have to say I have absolutely no idea what a Nork looks like, and I do think I should probably try to find out.
Well, I can do the same that for you that I'm doing for Mordecai. Send a data wafer with what you want on there, and a cognate will be brought to you.
Thank you.
The problem is many of my officers will send lower crew members to fetch data wafers from the chronicalarium, and if they were to bump into one of you and loose lips or just overhear something, it would be easier for you all to stay in your own cloister, shall we say, your own inquisitorial cloister aboard my fine vessel. That way, if you do decide to talk about your work to each other, less ears to overhear your conversations.
aye, but there's cybernetic ones in the room.
Could I scrutinize him if he's trying to see if he's just trying to get us inside a bugged area?
You can roll scrutiny fellowship to see if he's lying. It would be flat.
I would like to also do this, but I think I already have something in mind anyway, even if I fail.
I have a success.
He's not lying. Darius, I'm surprised your tech priest didn't examine them for you. They're turned off. I would not. Well, it is an affront to the God Emperor himself to listen into the Inquisition and learn their secrets. They are only there for when I am transporting nobility and dignitaries that I can acquire secrets from. He smiles.
All right. Well, no, I bring it up just because I found them. I didn't actually talk to Jenny about them yet, but I didn't see any like little lights or anything on it. So
Yeah, I have every room, a stateroom and guest room, bugged. Some of them are very obvious to allow a sense of where he must be bugging us. Oh, we found one, we're safe, kind of false sense of security. But yes, no, all of your ones would have been deactivated and have been since I knew that you were going to be taking residence in them.
all right.
I mean, since I am likely to be alone in my room tonight, I don't think
Oh,
you'd
yeah.
overhear anything particularly interesting anyway. But thank you for being so candid.
Would you mind sharing some basics on void combat? It's a bit rusty, that knowledge, if I do say so myself.
But of course I could send some material over, aligning to your work, of course. I don't see why
Much
I can't do that.
appreciated. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, not at all. It seems as if we have got to that part of the evening. I will be going to my smoking room, my parlour. If you'd like to join me for more drinks and stories by the fireplace, you may. You're all welcome. I'm quite sure that my Void Master and Master at Arms will probably join me for a few stories to be told from their pasts. They both kind of nod along to the Rogue Trader and then give each other like a slight glare. It's like a slight evil glare. But if you wish to retire to your rooms and celebrate amongst yourselves, simply com my servers, my crew, and they will bring you whatever delights you wish to partake in.
Well, thank you, Captain. I'm going to retire to my room. I'll await these cogites and books in the morning, if that's alright, and I'll turn to the Master at Arms. Thank you very much for your assistance. I wish you well. Excuse me, and I will. But if that is alright with you, and I turn to the captain. Trader, rogue, trader.
He gives you a bow as he gets up and his crew get up. By all means, it has been quite a delightful evening. And hopefully I will see you all on the bridge tomorrow once we are in range of this asteroid field. He makes a sign of the a half aquila on his chest. Gives you a small bow, as do the three. Sorry, so the seneschal's been kind of asleep. He kind of had a little bit too much to drink. He's just been nodding off ever so. It's been so quiet. Give him a shake. He comes along.
Okay.
As soon as they get up to leave, she'll get up, give them the bell. She's going to wait until basically he's out of sight / earshot.
He is.
I'm going to cast something. First, I want to do a sign instance.
Sure.
Okay.
You sense 4 psychers, 1 navigator, 3 astropaths. 1 astropath you would note is in. Well, no, it's probably been at least another hour, so he'd probably be in the. So yeah, there's 3 astropaths in a what you can pretty much tell is an astropathic sanctum within the ship. Their astropathic choir send messages.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to cast the spell now then. I'm going to cast this at a low rating. And I'm targeting Mordecai. So before I make the mistake, I have to. Okay.
Great.
That would be a -10. The target should be 74, not 84, because that was before I fixed the psi rating.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we're now back down to psi rating 3.
Yeah.
Thank you for reminding me about that.
So, Mordecai, you feel the psychic pressure of someone trying to create a telepathic link with you. Now, fortunately, you went down into the Underhive where you had a telepathic communion with all of you. So you all know each other's psychic personality. If someone tries to do this to you and you don't know who they are, realistically you should try and resist it. But you can feel that you know this pressure. You look around and you can see that it's Liliana who's trying to...
I'd probably just shift my sight slightly to look into the warp, and I see it just emanate from her for a second. I'm like, okay, that's her. I pick up the psychic phone call.
I'm not currently looking at Mordecai, but I'll just whisper into his mind. Mordecai, as soon as if you do get a chance to go to the Colonium, do try to access some of the files pertaining to this rogue trader. Something about him is fishy. Now cut the connection.
I not even get to reply. That hurts.
I mean, if I feel that you want to reply, I'll wait before I can cut the connection.
Do navigators get Psyniscience? I think they do, don't they?
I would imagine they do.
No, actually, I will cut the connection because I'm paranoid. I'm paranoid enough to think that as soon as someone sees that I'm casting a spell, they might try to listen in. And she doesn't want anyone listening to, her thoughts. So yeah, I will cut the connection. Sorry, Mordecai. I'm paranoid. Leave me be.
Mordecai just feels used now. Feels dirty. He's gonna have to go have a shower. I would wait a few minutes more before departing as well. Just so it's not, oh, hey, Captain, there was a psychic power that went on. Instantly, Mordecai leaves, kind of thing. And I would make my way to the rooms just to begin with and knock on Liliana's door.
Okay, I'll open the door.
That was risky.
Was Mordecai, and she, with her eyes, is just gonna be looking around all over the room like, "Do you have? What do you mean?"
I sorry, my brain had a moment then. It's like being so coy with the captain.
She's
May I
gonna
come
cut
in?
her. Please do.
So, what do you think of him? And as I ask that, I get out the data slate the Inquisitors gave us ages ago, and just type out a message of why don't you trust him, and show it to her while feigning a conversation.
I'll take out my data slate so we don't have to keep passing one data slate.
Hang
Actually,
on.
no, I will take his data slate.
Liliana, you did pass a scrutiny test. No, you didn't. Your target's 26.
I did.
No, you did. You did pass.
No.
So
I did.
he's not. You know he's not lying, and they're all turned off.
I mean, the thing is, even knowing that he's not lying, she still doesn't trust him / like him. So She'll take the data slate, pretend to be looking at it, and she'll say, "Well, he's a delightful host," and I'll type in gut feeling. Something's wrong. I'll type gut feeling. Something's wrong. He's being too nice, and give it back to him.
Wait, sorry. Are you continuing with the fake conversation verbally as well, or?
Oh, she is. Oh, she
Okay.
is. Because he said, "Oh no, I'll turn off the things in the room. Trust me." She doesn't trust him. She's paranoid as all hell right now.
He said they were
He's-
already turned off.
He's very accommodating. I didn't expect that from a. Well, you know, our experiences with Void captains has not always been the best. I go, just because someone on the data set, it's like, just because someone's nice doesn't mean they're out to get us. He already knows more than enough to screw us, even without us telling him anything.
She's gonna frown. I'm going to frown. Then I'm going to type in the data slate. He's clearly using us. I don't trust him, not one bit. And he's making sure that we owe him something.
Do you trust the Inquisition? It is just like the response question.
She's gonna take pause and type back into the thing. He's not Inquisition.
They employed him. So I would continue with the fake conversation, but my brain is frying slightly and keeping.
So you don't.
So that is going on,
You,
but
you
my
just have to
actual-
say, yeah, you just have to say we're having a fake conversation, and then type shit out. You don't need to keep going. Please don't fry your brain for this.
Go. Well, they have hired him. I'm sure any favors he is after will have already been accounted for. The God Emperor's Inquisition does not make mistakes.
She's just gonna take a deep breath.
I don't trust him either, but
Look
that
you-
doesn't mean he's out to get us.
Look you deep into the eye and say, type on the thing. I don't trust him. He's not Inquisition. And do you trust every single person that Inquisition gives you access to? She's going to say, I miss Tiffany. And then she's going to write, I don't trust Tiffany 100%, and I really like her.
I trust the Inquisition to vet the people it sends to pick up its acolytes. I don't trust him, but I don't distrust him either. But I will try to access the Chronicalarium without arousing too much suspicion.
I'm just going to smile and write on the data slate. A paranoid mind is a healthy mind, my dear friend.
It reminds me of an old adage about an unguarded mind that we used to be taught at the Scholastica Telepathica, assuming that's what it's called.
Pretty much.
Yes, I will endeavour to try to look in the Chronicalarium, but I think I should at least first use the remote data slate so that I can feign looking for more knowledge if and when they catch me.
just gonna type, talk to Jenny.
What was that? Sorry, I cut out a lot then. I didn't hear what you said.
Talk to Jenny. That's all she's writing. Valdo, did you cut out again?
Hold on. Oh,
Oh,
he died.
he died. Sadness.
No.
Some incense got him.
Could it be you
I,
just
I,
start
I,
playing?
think, I
Yes.
think my paranoia was too strong. His connection isn't resisted.
He didn't have a psycho protector. Psycho
I mean, he's
protector.
back. He's just not talking.
Hello?
Hold up. There you go.
Huzzah!
Hello. Welcome back to the living.
Sorry. My Wi-Fi decided to have a hiccup, so I swapped over to the other one.
It's good.
Last thing I heard was go talk to Jenny.
Yeah, that's basically the last thing she said.
About what? Accessing the Chroniclarium? Or
Yeah, when you said when they eventually find you out, just said, talk to Jenny. She can help you.
I should probably ask her to accompany me when I do.
Probably a good idea.
Maybe able to make up for the Engine Seer comment as well while I'm at it. I
Probably a
won't be
good
making
idea.
those comments again. It's,
That's also a good idea.
I will. At that point, I'll stand up and bow and say, "I wish you a good night."
Have a lovely night too, my good friend.
Don't let the warp voices bite, and I'll close the door.
She's just going to nod at that. Has very bad thoughts now, and we go like, "Well, shit." Just so you know the level of paranoia this. The only thing Liliana will be saying / doing the entire time she's in the room is she'll either be practicing Haka, practicing dancing, or she will be humming. She'll never say a single word while she's inside her room.
Jesus Christ.
Fair enough.
Gut feeling, man.
So is there anything else you guys would like to do? Again, you are pissed, like you're tipsy at this moment. Well, some of you are pissed, some of you are tipsy. It has been a long day. It's been a 2.5 hour long meal and chat with the Rogue Trader. Plus you did all your traveling and everything today. So it's probably getting to the point where you're like, yeah, we should probably either carry on drinking and just enjoy ourselves or call it a night.
Yeah.
What I would be calling it a night after that conversation. I need to sleep and meditate. Definitely not listen to the voices.
Yeah, Darius will be wandering around the room for a moment, just doing little bits and pieces before just going to bed and no one comes in.
Liliana, before going to sleep, will be doing everything I said, and she will partake on the bar and the cigars in the room. Even if she's being used, she will still enjoy it. God damn it.
I would probably just take a shower and then call it a night. Hello?
Sure.
Anyone
you can do
out
that.
there?
Yeah, no,
Nope.
we're here. Just some
Oh,
people
we're
are
not
being
here.
rather
Alright.
quiet. So the 60th ends. Your 2 months.
60.
Yep, the 660. The 2 months are up as roll on the 61st. So as some of you wake up and you're a little bit hungover, as others wake up and are feeling fine, you would wake up to the smells of basically cooked, freshly baked bread and other different stodgy and greasy hangover foods from around the Imperium. As breakfast does seem to be provided for you, a small miracle of the Omnisire has been placed on the table. It seems to be a stasis serving tray. You push the button and the stasis field drops. You take out your hot food, you hit the stasis button, and the stasis field goes up. Huh. But that's one way to keep your food warm.
Okay.
It can stay fresh and wriggling for longer.
Well, hot and crispy for those of you who want to try bacon. But yeah, nothing alive in there, fortunately. You can all enjoy your day off. For those of you who wanted to do research today, about halfway through your breakfast, you would see, because I'm guessing you woke up, you saw the servants there, you handed them your data wafer. Halfway through breakfast, cognites are wheeled in to the rooms that wanted them with the data that you asked for loaded up, if he has it. God, roll 20, your music is kind of... Let's end that. I've had enough. Yeah, I actually feel more depressed after listening to that. Fucking terrible. So, it is your day off. You can basically do what you want. If you wanted to do research for the purpose of skills, gaining knowledge, you can. There are some knowledge groups that you wouldn't normally have access to that you can acquire from here. Apart from that, was there anything specific you wanted to do today?
Other than research, not for me.
Is that research anything that I need to be involved with?
At the moment, it's just looking into what on earth Dagon is. Because Geddy mentioned the Dagon. Well, no, sorry, Darius mentioned it. So I want to find out what that is. Because he's been very mysterious about what's happened on his homeworld, and that was the first concrete thing he said.
Oh, okay. No information is listed about that world or that city. Well, if it was a city, there are lots of listings for it, because the names of things are used all over the Imperium, except from like the home world. The name of worlds isn't repeated, but capital cities, there could be a million Londons, for example.
Dagon isn't a planet.
I can't remember the exact way it was said last session, but it was very much a thing that afflicted his planet.
If he said
Out
his
of
home
character,
world,
I know.
If he said his home world, if I can't quite remember if Dagon was the name of his world, there's no listing. There's no Imperial listing for it.
Dagon, out of character, I know Dagon's the High Fleet. Geddy, did you say the homeworld name?
If I remember
I think
correctly,
you said your regiment.
I think I have said almost before.
Is Geddy there?
I think you've said it like once. You haven't said it that many
I think I've
times.
said it once in the past. But when I was talking to the rogue trader, I said, I don't think...
Well,
I did actually
I'd still
mention
try that, and there's a couple of other things, but I will send you a PM on those.
For the High Fleet, there is no information about it. The movements of High Fleets would be forbidden law. Knowing about them would be Scholastic. Rogue traders can tell you about Gene Stealers and the Tyranids, because guess what? They run into them quite often in Space Hulks and places where they shouldn't be. As for the world, it doesn't exist as for Imperial Scholastic lore. And the fleet, do you know there might be at least names of them, because there is artwork and things depicting Space Marines fighting Tyranids and shit like that. So it probably would be on Scholastic record. It'd probably be Tyranids, Hive Fleets, Kraken, Gorgond, and yeah, it would be on there, so you'd know that it was a Tyranid fleet, but you wouldn't know the size, you wouldn't know what made it up, what their units are like, or anything like that.
Okay.
You could probably get the basic of their ground forces, just so, and again, it'd be Imperial. What is it? Propaganda. It wouldn't be. It wouldn't be telling you that they can cut Space Marines Terminator plate like butter. They'd be like, oh yeah, they're small little creatures that you can zap easily.
Like the Guard Primer level.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's the Rogue Trader version, you'd get a little bit more information than the Guard. But it would still very much still depict humans as being superior, even though we would only be superior in certain circumstances, as they are.
Okay. As I say, there's probably one or two other things, but
You can message.
I will message those to you,
or bring them up.
after the session.
So, would anyone else like to do anything with their day off on the Rogue Trader ship?
Apart from looking to those, or look at those like Orc book, not much else.
Okay, so the Orc book, essentially, it is an illegal, a prescripted text, so technically illegal. It goes into a lot more detail about the Orc species, and there's definitely a tone of admiration. Like, there's definitely, the book isn't always downplaying it, and you can tell that the person who writ the book definitely enjoys and likes how the Orc organism works, but it makes out as if he likes orcs, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah.
Do I get the same thing because I'm also looking at the orcs, or no?
You didn't do a requisition roll for because the Orc one is an actual book. It's not a data slate.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I misheard.
Yeah, no, because it's a prescribed text. They don't put that shit on data slates. If it's illegal, it's in book form.
No, that's fair. The thing I actually really just wanted for the orc is just so she wants to get used to seeing an orc, even if it's just an image.
Your one would have images. Because you asked specifically for images of orcs, and you would have pick images of dead orcs, and pick images of living orcs that clearly a servo skull has taken. They don't look anything like any primer image that you've ever seen, because these are real orcs, big motherfuckers, massive muscles, jagged equipment, ramshackled equipment. So you would definitely have images of that.
Okay. Because literally the only thing Liliana wants is to get used to seeing an orc. So when the first time she actually sees one, she doesn't, shits herself in fear.
If
or at
only
least doesn't
orcs
shit as
caused
much.
fear.
Hey man, a big ass fucking green thing running towards you. Not exactly nice.
So, if there's nothing else or nothing pressing that you guys wanted to do with your day off, you'll essentially live it in luxury in your suite. When you want food, you can literally comms people and they'll bring food and drink over. You don't get a invite to the captain's table. You're essentially told by one of the servers who comes in that when you'd like to have your dinner, we can seat you in here so you can carry on doing your research. You don't have to stop on for the captain's behalf. That day passes. Okay. You do your research, you stay in your area, and the 21st goes by as we come to the 22nd. So, as you're woken this morning, as the stasis serving tray is brought out with your new selection of breakfast treats and goodies, the server would actually say, once you're done with your breakfast, if you'd like to come up to the bridge, the asteroid field should be in sight.
I would head up to the bridge.
I also go to the bridge.
Yep, I'll don my all my clothing and head on up.
Do the same. I'll come up to the bridge.
Cool. So, as you make your way up to the bridge, it takes you a good like half an hour, even from the officers' quarters. It's not just a straight run up to the deck of the ship, but you reach this. It gets more and more ornate, more and more elaborate as you go up, and the scrolling work on the walls just keeps growing. There's more and more finery. You didn't think it could get any finer, but then these massive doors to the deck of the ship with like gold titans that have been in there's gold inlay in the shape of titans doing combat, and just luxury like it's too much. It's just too much at this point. Everything's gold, brass, polished, and the doors slide open to... Ooh, my internet connection has been lost to the Roll20, and now it's back. Never mind. As the doors open and you see onto the bridge, it's actually a advanced for the Imperium, but a standard bridge, or the throne where the captain sits is very luxurious. But as you look around, everything's in its right place. Everything is as it should be. All the consoles are polished and cleaned to perfection, glimmering in the light. And as you look around and you look through the viewport, you can just see this massive expanse of asteroids and floating debris. It's too far at the moment to be able to see the signs of ships in the debris field, but the captain and his crew are working away. You can hear the captain giving orders to send out an auger probe to get into position, to get the shuttles ready and make preparations to explore the asteroid belt or field. It's not a belt.
Okay, as we approach the captain and such, I'll come up to attention. I'm not wearing a full uniform or anything, so I'll just come up to attention and present myself. Like, Captain, we are here to request as you Just is. How goes the scans?
Oh, good morning. I hope you all didn't slept well and were well provided for. We've sent an auger probe out to get more detailed scans. There appears to be a mineral in the asteroid fields, or the dust, perhaps. Chief Auger Array Operator says it could be radiation from the Orc vessels, but something's hampering our scans, it seems. They're as good as the last ones, I'm afraid.
Well, I'm not an idiot.
Well, I can show you. He taps a few buttons on his control throne, on the data pad, and a remarkably good quality hologram appears of the asteroid field, but much more enhanced and zoomed in. Now you can just make out, well, not just, you can make out the spinning pieces of debris that are, spinning too fast for you to make out with the naked eye from this distance. But here it's enhanced, and you can make out the Imperial ship, at least the shapes, and there's too many like asteroids that fly in, and just other ship debris that's in the way to tell if they're all still like in one piece intact and the hull's not breached, but you get a good sense at least of what's there.
Okay. Could I roll aware? Oh no, this is like a view scan of like basically everything, isn't it? So, could I roll awareness to try and spot something that hasn't been pointed out?
Sure, you can. It would actually be scrutiny perception, which I know doesn't exist. So you just have to roll perception with your.
Now, scrutiny perception exists.
Oh, it does exist. What is it? Oh, scrutiny intelligence. It doesn't exist.
Yes.
Yes, scrutiny perception.
Flat or...
yes, it's flat because you can basically spend as much time as needed.
Oh. Nope.
Okay, you spend like 5 minutes or so just looking at the. I mean, it's the first time you've probably seen a hologram and it's moving around. You can't quite make out anything, but again, so this is a hologram of one side, of the side that they've been able to scan. So, like, if you were to go to the back of it, there's just nothing there because they weren't able to scan the full 360. Of the asteroid field and its debris.
Okay.
Should be an hour or so before we get any decent telemetry from the probe. But we're moving into position now, so we're going to be getting ever closer at the very least. You can see that the Voidmaster is at the weapons console. The Master at Arms is over at the Vox Relay console. The Master at Arms appears to be running through with his teams, checking weapons and going through different procedures. And the Master at Arms is relaying messages to different crews, apparently getting each assault team, defense team ready just in case.
Did our stuff from the surface come up with us?
No. Only the stuff
Ooh.
you came with.
Right. Shit.
What did you forget to bring, buddy?
The enforcer armor
Oof.
Ouch.
and my big shotgun. I've only got my pistols with me.
Double ouch.
Too big to, carry in the street, so
I think I may have a. No, I don't. Never mind.
Because remember,
Sorry.
you guys came from the club with Tiffany to go and see what this guy was like at a recruiting outlet. You weren't. If you were gonna try and tell me you all went there fully armed and equipped, you never bloody said so. You never said you were going there fully armed and equipped to a civilian outpost to have a chat with someone. Small arms, fair enough. I can allow small arms. I wouldn't completely disarm you. You could have a couple of holdouts on you. But big chunky equipment, if you didn't specify it, you didn't come with it.
I kind of figured I'm bringing my usual grab bag of. I've got my 3 main pistols, the Ripper Clip, the not the Stead Holder, the Scalp Taker, and the, what do you call it, the big.
It's the Scalp Taker and the. It's not the Widowmaker. Yeah, I know the one you're on about.
Stormchild, Scalp Taker, and Ripper Clip.
Sure. Yep. No, you've said that before, that you've had a bag with stuff like that in that you have on you. You can get away with that. Like Mordecai has his sword on him because it's something that he could get away with. But all your big bulky equipment, all your flak armor, you haven't got that with you.
I think the only thing I might be missing would be my shield, maybe? Did I break my shield? I don't know if that's an acceptable thing to be carrying around. I don't remember.
Yeah, that's the only thing, again, that I'm not sure of in terms of Mordecai's usual equipment.
It's a primitive armor. Well, it's not primitive because you got good ones, but it's technically a primitive armored equipment. It's not a weapon, but how normal would it be to go to an army recruiting post fully armed and fully equipped? No, you guys didn't bring this kind of stuff up, so I've got to penalise you for it.
Yeah, no, I know.
That's right. That's right.
I'm not sure whether that would have been something.
If you are worried about equipment,
Reverb.
I think at least.
No, it's like other than the flag coat.
Thankfully, my armor, which I pretty much I'm always wearing, is the mesh vest, which is basically invisible because it's best quality and it's always under my clothing. And my camo, but I don't think I would have brought the shield to the thing because it's so big and bulky.
Now, if you are looking sheepish, like, I don't think I have any equipment, you can speak to the Master at Arms or the Rogue Trader, and he does have NPCs that you can use.
Yeah, no, I'll step forward and ask if I can borrow some equipment, because in our excitement to leave, I actually forgot to request my stuff be taken up with me.
Yeah, sure. We can provide. We've got more than enough in the stores. Although I have got all my people equipped at the moment, so most of the nice toys have been handed out. But we've got spare armor and basic equipment at the very least.
This is just to confirm: a flak greatcoat can be worn outside, right? Without suspicion.
Not
Technically,
in the
no, because
middle
it's a military.
hive. Not in the middle hive. Like in the lower hives, you can get away with that shit. In the middle hives, where your base is, no. Unless you are a guard. Like unless you were guard, you were literally wearing your uniform, and you were like, no, we're part of this planet's guard forces. We're wearing our uniforms proudly. No, you. Flak armor is a military equipment and illegal to walk around on the streets with.
It's controlled equipment.
Think of this: 90% of your equipment you cannot walk around with in the middle hive. Going to civilian places, it's not happening. That's the issue with going to civilian areas and not preparing for or not going, we're in the excitement, everyone was like, yeah, sure, let's go up to space. Oh, cool, you got a proper yeah, let's go. It happens, don't get me wrong, it's just I'm enjoying the fact that that it has happened. So yeah, your Armageddon, for example, there's no way you were able to walk through
that in a bag.
It wasn't specified.
I mean, I also didn't know if we needed to.
No,
That's
you
kind of
went
the
to a
point.
civilian. You went to a
That's precisely the
civilian
point.
area. You went to a civilian area within the middle hive. Civilians do not walk around with weaponry in their bags. You basically went to an army recruiting post, but for merchant navy in our world. Even if you're in a dodgy area, like I said, you can have pistols on you, you can have concealed weapons, but there's no way you're walking in there with machine guns on your. Well, you could have done if you had specified, but
It's like, hey,
no one
Mr.
has.
Recruiter guy, look, I brought my own gear. Do I get extra points or what?
The batons were allowed, weren't they?
The batons are something you can get away with, yes, because they're not a bladed weapon. They are more
They're
there for
filled with,
self-defense.
Semi-liquid heavy metal inside the core. Make sure that swings extra hard.
Can I make the argument that we send someone down to fetch our gear?
No. You could have done, but it's something like this. As a GM, this is something that I delight in, unpreparedness. Even if...
Yeah, but we just didn't know.
But that's it. That's it. That's the
This is the
part
whole
that
thing.
No, we needed to do it.
No, that's the whole thing. I've already done this ahead of time because of Darius doing this when we went off to go to the judge's district. When we already talked about it, then I've already pre-planned that. Okay, I have a grab bag with this 3 pistols. If I'm going anywhere, I'm taking these. So even if we do get caught unawares, I'll have these 3 pistols on me at all times.
And they're 3 pistols. You're
Yeah, it's
talking
one of
about
those
walking
things
around
you
with
just
a
need-
1.5 meter weapon. Because again, it's a basic weapon that has not been shortened. You haven't had it cut in half and a chunk taken out to make it compact, thus concealable. There are things because there are things you can do in this game to allow you to get around these facts. I have to be harsh with them because otherwise there's no point getting a compact weapon.
If you want to get one of the easiest ways to do that is get lightweight materials, compact weapon, and shortened barrel, and that will make any assault rifle sealable really easily.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just one of the, it's because we're in such an urban environment. We need to also think about how we interact with the populace as well as combat mode and stealth mode. Basically, think of it like Payday. We have stealth and we have going loud.
And again, this is
We've primarily been focusing on going loud. Not all of us have been thinking about going stealth.
This is a trap that I like as a GM because it's an easy one to fall into. Oh shit, yeah, we couldn't have gone off planet with all of our equipment through civilian means, and
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not the first time we fell into that trap too.
it's an easy one that GMs love. You can get equipment off. I'm not going to send you in unarmored or unequipped. You can get stuff from the rogue trader. Borrowed equipment. He might be able to sell you some stuff. But yeah, his stuff will be essentially specialized for void combat. Because he doesn't do fighting on the ground. He does fighting in the void.
Mm-hmm.
Liliana's gonna approach the Master of Arms. She's gonna clasp her hands together. Excuse me, Miss Tennis. Would you please have a spare shield around?
Shield? Oh. We've got a few suppression shields, I think, but we don't really like getting them out much.
Do you have a big piece of metal with a handle in its middle, perhaps?
Well, no. Well, yes, but they're boarding shields. A big piece of metal that you hold in your hand. Yeah, we've got them.
Can I get one of those I can use as a shield, please? Really, please?
Apparently, David Bowie started playing on my phone.
We can do
Okay.
that. That's not a problem. If you need
Thank you.
access to our armory, I can take you down there now.
While we are placing orders, I
Would you
have
would,
left
would you
my
be
armor planet side.
would you be so kind, Miss Stevens? I would really love if you could do that to me for me.
I'll take you down to the armory and you can go through what we need. Captain, you're gonna be an hour or so before they're ready to launch shuttles. Yes. Well, say an hour and a half to get into position. I want to make sure no rogue debris comes out whilst we're sat motionless. I'm taking them down to the armory. I'll write out anything that they borrow. Oh yes, by all means. If they damage it, we'll just send the bill to the Inquisition. I'm sure they won't mind paying for the equipment. Oh, all right. So you were all led down to the armory, where you will be able to re-equip for this mission. But as the servo skull that is forever following you, forever invisible, just blinks to capture the look of disappointment as you all just walk out, heading towards the armory. That's where we'll end our episode, so our players can re-equip, as I'm sure they'll want to see what goodies they have to choose from. So, I certainly hope you all enjoyed this episode of our Dark Heresy campaign, and are looking forward to future episodes to come, where in fact tomorrow I believe we have our last Vampire Masquerade V20 game.
VPN.
Yeah,
We are
or
sponsored now by by an unnamed VPN company.
Totally didn't just say it.
If only. But please
Yeah,
do join us tomorrow at hopefully the same time for more shenanigans. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, everyone, and as always, bye bye for now.
Bye.
Why?
See ya.
Should I do the gunshot?